No cooling occurs when an ideal gas undergoes unrestrained expansion because the molecules A. collide without loss of energy. B. do work equal to loss in kinetic energy. C. are above the inversion temperature. D. exert no attractive force on each other. The correct answer is are above the inversion temperature. With increase in the solute concentration, the specific heat of aqueous solutions A. increases, B. decreases, C. remains unchanged, D. either A or B depends on the type of solution. The correct answer is decreases. The heat capacity of a substance is A. greater for liquid state than for solid state, B. lower for liquid state than for gaseous state, C. higher for solid state than for liquid state, D. equal for solid and liquid states below melting point. The correct answer is greater for liquid state than for solid state. The heat of solution depends upon the A. nature of solvent, B. concentration of solution, C. nature of solute, D. all ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. The molar composition of a gas is 10H2 10O2 30 CO2 and balance H2O. If 50 H2O condenses, the final mole percent of H2 in the gas on a dry basis will be A 10, B 5, C 18.18, D 20. The correct answer is 20. 80 kilograms of Na2SO4 molecular weight 142 is present in 330 kilograms of an aqueous solution. The solution is cooled such that 80 kilograms of Na2SO4.10H2O crystals separate out. The weight fraction of Na2SO4 in the remaining solution is A 0.00, B 0.18, C 0.24, D 1.00. The correct answer is 0.18. Atmospheric pressure corresponds to a hydrostatic head of A 13.6 cms of Hg, B 34 feet of H2O, C 1 meter of H2O, D 13.6 meters of Hg. The correct answer is 34 feet of H2O. At a temperature of 0 K, the molecules of a gas have only energy A. rotational, B. vibrational, C. translational, D. none of these. The correct answer is translational. A butane isomerisation process produces 70 kmole HR of pure isobutane. A purge stream removed continuously contains 85 n-butane and 15 impurity mole. The feed stream is n-butane containing 1 impurity mole. The flow rate of the purge stream will be A 3 kmole HR, B 4 kmole HR, C 5 kmole HR, D 6 kmole HR. The correct answer is 5 kmole HR. The equilibrium value of the mole fraction of the gas dissolved in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of that gas above the liquid surface. This statement pertaining to the solubility of gases in liquid is the law A. Raoult's, B. Henry's, C. Angut's, D. none of these. The correct answer is Henry's. If 1 nm3 of O2 contains n number of molecules, then number of molecules in 2 nm3 of SO2 will be A n, B n2, C 2n, D 4n. The correct answer is 2n. The most convenient way of expressing solution concentration is in terms of A. mole fraction, B. normality, C. molality, D. molarity. The correct answer is molarity. Unit of mass velocity is A. kgm, hr, B. kgm2.hr, C. kghr, D. kgm2. The correct answer is kg m2.hr. With increase in temperature the surface tension of water A increases, B decreases, C remains constant, D increases linearly. The correct answer is decreases. Enthalpy change resulting when unit mass of solid is wetted with sufficient liquid so that further addition of liquid produces no additional thermal effect is called the heat of A mixing, B adsorption, C wetting, D complete wetting. The correct answer is complete wetting. pH value of a solution containing 1 gram of hydrogen ion per liter will be A0, B1, C7, D10. The correct answer is 0. Claussius Clapeyron equation applies to the process A sublimation, B melting, C vaporization, D all ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. Chart is a graph related to Antonie equation. A Ostwald, B Cox, C Mollius, D enthalpy concentration. The correct answer is Cox. Degrees of freedom will be equal to the number of components for a system comprising of A only soluble liquid components, B partially miscible 2 liquid components system having 2 phases, C 2 liquid components and 1 solute soluble in both the liquids, D none of these. The correct answer is only soluble liquid components. A perfectly insulated container of volume V is divided into 2 equal halves by a partition. One side is under vacuum while the other side has 1 mole of an ideal gas with constant heat capacity at 298 K. If the partition is broken, the final temperature of the gas in the container A will be greater than 298 K, B will be 298 K, C will be less than 298 K, D cannot be determined. The correct answer is will be less than 298 K. Now to SO4. 10 H2O crystals are formed by cooling 100 kg of 30 by weight aqueous solution of Na2SO4. The final concentration of the solute in the solution is 10. The weight of crystals is A 20, B 32.2, C 45.35, D 58.65. The correct answer is 58.65. Which of the following gases will have the highest kinetic energy per mole at the same pressure temperature? A chlorine, B nitrogen, C ethane, D all the gases will have the same K. The correct answer is all the gases will have the same K. What fraction of the total pressure is exerted by oxygen if equal weights of oxygen and methane are mixed in an empty vessel at 25 C? A 2-3, B 1-3, C 1-2, D L3X. The correct answer is 1-3. On mixing 56 grams of CaO with 63 grams of HNO3, the amount of CaNO3 formed is gm. A 82, B 164, C 41, D 8.2. The correct answer is 82. The pressure under which liquid and vapor can coexist at equilibrium is called the vapor pressure. A limiting, B real, C saturated, D normal. The correct answer is saturated. Unrestrained expansion of an ideal gas does not result in its cooling due to the reason that the gas molecules A do not lose energy on collision, B are above the inversion temperature, C do not exert attractive force on each other, D do work equal to loss in kinetic energy. The correct answer is do not exert attractive force on each other. Assuming applicability of ideal gas law, the pure component volume of the vapor in a saturated gas can be calculated from theoretical relationship. The volumetric composition of a vapor saturated gas is independent of the A. Nature of the liquid, B. Nature of the gas, C. Temperature of the liquid, ID. Total pressure, D. The correct answer is nature of the gas. Air at a temperature of 20 C and 750 mm Hg pressure has a relative humidity of 80. What is its percentage humidity? Vapor pressure of water at 20 C is 17.5 mm Hg. A. 80.38, B. 80, C. 79.62, D. 78.51. The correct answer is 79.62. 1 mole of methane undergoes complete combustion in a stoichiometric amount of air. The reaction proceeds as CH4 2O2 Co2 Both the reactants and products are in gas phase. H298,730 kmole of methane. If the average specific heat of all the gases vapor is 40 kmole. K, the maximum temperature rise of the exhaust gases in C would be approximately equal to A. 1225, B. 1335, C. 1525, D. 1735. The correct answer is 1735. As per Kirchhoff's equation, the heat of reaction is affected by the A. Pressure, B. Volume, C. Temperature, D. Molecularity. The correct answer is temperature. In a chemical process, the recycle stream is purged for A. Increasing the product yield, B. Enriching the product, C. Limiting the inerts, D. Heat conservation. The correct answer is limiting the inerts. The viscosity of water at room temperature may be around 1. A. Centipause, B. Poise, C. Stoke, D. Both B. C. The correct answer is centipause. A flowsheet is given in the following figure. If the single pass once through conversion of A to B is 20, then the rate of recycle R moles HR is A. 300, B. 400, C. 500, D. 600. The correct answer is 500. The heat capacity of most substances is greater for the state A. Solid, B. Liquid, C. Gaseous, D. None of these. The correct answer is liquid. The temperature at which real gases obey the ideal gas law over a wide range of pressure is called the temperature A. Reduced, B. Boil, C. Critical, D. Inversion. The correct answer is inversion. Elements in a periodic table are arranged in order of their A. Atomic number, B. Mass number, C. Atomic weight, D. Metallic characteristics. The correct answer is atomic number. For most salts, the solubility increases with rise in temperature, but the solubility of is nearly independent of temperature rise. A. Sodium chloride, B. Sodium carbonate monohydrate, C. Anhydrous sodium sulfate, D. Hypo. The correct answer is sodium chloride. The molecules of a liquid which is in equilibrium with its vapor at its boiling point on an average have equal in the two phases A. Potential energy, B. Intermolecular forces, C. Kinetic energy, D. Total energy. The correct answer is kinetic energy. If a solution of eutectic composition is cooled reaching the eutectic temperature, the solvent begins to freeze out even before B. It will undergo no change until C. It will not solidify even on D. None of these. The correct answer is, it will undergo no change until. Which of the following is not a unit of length? A. Parsec. B. Angstrom. C. Barn. D. Fermi. The correct answer is Barn. The density of a gas X is twice that of another gas Y. If the molecular weight of gas Y is m, then the molecular weight of the gas X will be A 2m, B m2, C m, D m4. The correct answer is 2m. The equilibrium data of component A in the two phases B and C are given below. The estimate of y for x4 by fitting a quadratic expression of a form ymx2 for the above data is A 15.5, B 16, C 16.5, D 17. The correct answer is 16.5. Saturated solution of benzene in water is in equilibrium with a mixture of air and vapors of benzene and water at room temperature and pressure. Mole fraction of benzene in liquid is Xb and the vapor pressures of benzene and water at these conditions are PVB and PVW respectively. The partial pressure of benzene in air-vapor mixture is A PVB, B Xb, PVB, C P ATM PVW XB, D XB, P ATM. The correct answer is XB, PVB. pH value of a solution containing equal concentration of hydroxyl and hydrogen ions will be A0, B10, C7, D14. The correct answer is 7. The percentage ratio of the partial pressure of the vapor to the vapor pressure of the liquid at the existing temperature is A termed as relative saturation, B not a function of the composition of gas mixture, C called percentage saturation, D not a function of the nature of vapor. The correct answer is termed as relative saturation. The total number of atoms in 8.5 grams of NH3 is X1023, A 9.03, B 3.01, C 1.204, D 6.02. The correct answer is 9.03. The atomic weight of helium is 4 times that of hydrogen. Its diffusion rate as compared to hydrogen will be times A12, B4, C2, D14. The correct answer is 2. Osmotic pressure exerted by a solution prepared by dissolving 1 gram mole of a solute in 22.4 liters of a solvent at 0 C will be atmosphere. A 0.5, B1, C 1.5, D2. The correct answer is 1. In general, the specific heats of aqueous solutions with increase in the concentration of the solute. A increase, B decrease, C remain unchanged, D none of these. The correct answer is decrease. The ratio of existing moles of vapor per mole of vapor-free gas to the moles of vapor that would be present per mole of vapor-free gas if the mixture were saturated at the existing temperature pressure is termed as the A. Relative humidity, B. Relative saturation, C. Percentage saturation, D. None of these. The correct answer is percentage saturation.